Okay, part 2. We'll just wait for some people to come on. So we've done that one, done that one, done that one. Pardon me. Okay, do this one. I think we can get them all done. Yeah, we can get all these done. No drama. Just got to stop raving on. Okay, so welcome back to part 2. I'm sure some people will go back to part 1. They usually do. That's okay, they'll find their way. Okay, so now here we go again. So what I want to talk about, and we'll just go over these a little bit more briefly, okay, still in depth, but not as brief, not as long-winded. Just change that there a little bit so it's not so ridiculous with the light. Okay, dealing with, this is something that we all experience at some point, all of us. Dealing with and living in a negative environment. We're all doing that at some point. Now, when I talk about dealing with and living in a negative environment, I'm talking about people, okay? People who don't believe what you believe, especially those in the truth community. People who believe that spirituality is of the devil. People who believe a certain virus is real and things like that, when we have opposite beliefs. Now, those kind of people, okay, I'm not judging them, but people that have differing opinions and different beliefs and different behaviors, personalities, etc. They can really impact you. Really, you're trying to be positive, you're trying to find balance within yourself and become more aligned with who you are. At the same time, these people are being really nasty and negative and toxic. How do we deal with that? We can't just simply move out of their way. Some of them are at work, some of them are at home. I feel like I have things crawling all over me. So how do we deal with that? Well, what we first do is we understand that these people, like you, exactly like you, have your own beliefs, your own opinions, your own behaviors, your own personality, your own attitudes, etc., etc. We must respect that they have their own stuff. Okay, we must respect they have their own stuff. They are coming to you from their own opinion, from their own perspective. Doesn't make it right, but they are coming to you from themselves, just as you are coming to them from yourself. Okay, so we can't judge someone for being negative or nasty for them being who they are. Okay, for them choosing to be that way. But what we can do is we can protect ourselves from the negative energy that they put out. And this is really important, okay? Really important. This is where mind control, resilience, everything comes into it, okay? Like I said at the beginning, controlling your mind is key to every single part of your life. And this comes in as well with living in a toxic environment or working in a toxic environment. If you have a colleague that you really don't like, okay, if you can't accept, acknowledge and understand that they are who they are, you don't have to like them, but they are who they are. You do have to accept that, okay, and you do have to work with them. So how are you going to do it? First, by understanding and respecting that that is who they are. Now, we put up boundaries, okay, so you can put up a whole white light before you go to work or before you leave your bedroom if it's somebody in your house. You can also tell them, can you stop behaving like that? Okay, please don't give me that kind of attitude. Always remain respectful. You don't want to be drawn into their world. Okay, you want to encourage them to come to your world. Okay, so never be disrespectful. I find that difficult too, especially with the medbed questions, question after same question 20 times a day. It's like, okay. It can get on your nerves really quick. Control the mind. It's like, breathe. Okay, calm down and then go ahead. Okay, so set boundaries. Tell them it's not okay. Tell them you're having an issue with their behavior. Tell them you don't like them treating you like that. That's not right. Tell them, I respect you, so please, would you show me the courtesy and respect me in return? Okay? Most of the time they will laugh at you, they'll mock you, and all of this. Allow them. Allow them. Because this is where your self-control comes in. Remember, you're reacting from who you are. Okay? And where you are. They are reacting, or they are doing, from who and where they are. So you don't have to be drawn into it. Just because they're being nasty to you, it doesn't mean you have to be nasty back. Turn around and walk away. Simple. In every case, it's simple. Even with a child. Even with a child. You do not have to be disrespected. But do not disrespect back. Okay? It's very, very easy to turn around and walk away. It's easier to say than it is to do, but it is actually easy to turn around and walk away. Even with some person who is physically abusive. Okay, you can always walk away. There is always people out there to help. Okay, always. People say there's no one to help. You haven't been looking in the right places. There's always someone to help. Always. Whether that be on Facebook, whether that be on some community, local community charity group. There's always somebody to help. You just need to look. Okay? You can always use social media. This is where it comes in. Use social media to your advantage. Okay? A lot of people hate Facebook. Fascist book and fake book and all that. It is really, really good. It's a really good platform. Telegram's a good platform. Instagram, all those, Twitter, they're all great platforms to talk to people, to get advice, you can stay anonymous in a lot of cases. Create a fake account and get help so your abusive person or environment doesn't know it's you. Okay, there's always people out there that you can get help from. Always, 100% of the time. Anyone who says no one would help me, you haven't looked in the right places. And the right places at this day and age is social media. Always someone. Okay. So put up boundaries. Your spiritual boundaries. Okay. White light. Tell them their behavior is not going to be tolerated or acceptable. You can do this to kids as well. Doesn't matter how young the kids are, especially teenagers. Your behavior is not acceptable. I will not take this attitude from you. Just try not to disrespect them in return, because then you're becoming them, into their world. You want to show the way into your world, not drop into their world. Okay. So it's hard to do, and this is where it takes courage. Okay, you got to have courage to stand up and say no more. And again, mental resilience, mental control, things like that. So you can do it. If you really want to do it, you'll do it. Try not to let yourself get to the bottom of the barrel before standing up and saying no more, because then it's harder. Okay, then you're desperate. You don't want to be desperate. You want to be able to stand in your own power and say enough is enough. Okay, I'm not going to take this. Why? Because I'm worthy of better. I'm worthy of better. And if you can't respect me enough to treat me respectfully, then you're going to have to go. And I don't mean go as in leave. I mean go as in not allowing them to hold space within yourself anymore. Pardon me. If that makes sense. So leave as in you cut the cord to them. So you're no longer energetically attached to their negativity, which means they no longer can affect you because you're not allowing it to affect you. Okay, that's the difference. You're not allowing yourself to be affected. Mental resilience, mental control. Okay. Do you guys have any questions or anything to add on that as well? So I think it's pretty simple, okay? It just takes a lot of courage to act on it. That's the thing here, living in a negative environment or working in a negative environment, it takes courage to act on it. And this is something that you have to work up within yourself. Okay, this is something that can't be taught. Can be guided, but it comes from within you. And this is where you need to put on your armor and really say, you know what? I'm better than this. I deserve better. I'm not going to take this. Say it to yourself in the mirror, and then go and say it to the person. Okay, work up your courage. Okay, really important to protect yourself. Because we don't want to go through life allowing others to bring us down. We really don't. We want to go through life lifting people up and leading by example, not being drawn down into a world which we're trying to get away from. Okay? So really important to find that courage within yourself. All right? Fear. Right. How do we deal with fear? Okay. A lot of people have so many fears. I'll give you my fear. Clowns. I'm terrified of clowns. Doll clowns, toy clowns, statue clowns, even photos of clowns. Hate them. Clowns at the circus. Can't stand them. I swear I must have been murdered by a clown in another life. They're just creepy. So how do I deal with that? Well, I'm lucky. I don't really have to deal with that because we don't have clowns in the house. I would not sleep if we had clowns in the house. It's drizzling. Sun shower. Okay. So, how do we deal with our normal fears, everyday fears? Well, that's pretty simple. We face it. We face our fears. Why? Because fear holds you back, and you have those fears for a reason. They need to be addressed. If you're fearing something, it's because you need to overcome that. So if you're afraid of heights, you need to control your mind so that you don't allow fear to overcome you, so that you can get up high and look down and appreciate it, so you can push through it. It's just another opportunity to push through a boundary, to learn more about yourself and who you are. Fear of judgment and failure is very difficult. Absolutely. I'm going through that at the moment. Future judgment I'm going through. Fear of future judgment with something that I have to make a really big decision about. Really difficult. Okay. Judgment is one thing, failure is another. If you step up and make an effort and give it everything you've got and it doesn't succeed, where have you failed? You haven't. The only time you fail is when you don't show up, is when you don't make an effort. Because in your effort of doing something and trying to do something, trying to get somewhere, to be successful at something, you've learned all these other little skills along the way. You've learned all this extra knowledge along the way. That is success. That is succeeding. Doesn't matter about the long-term outcome. What you have gained in the middle and the process, that is succeeding. So you haven't failed anything. The moment you don't show up is the moment that you fail. Okay? And again, no such thing as failure as long as you get up and try. Simple. Try and you succeed. If the outcome isn't what you like or what you wanted or expected, you haven't lost anything. Nothing, because you've gained so much in the process of getting to where you are or want to be. Okay? Now, fear of judgment. Who's going to judge you the most? That's right, you are. You are the only person, not even God, you are the only one that is judging you. Why? Because every single person in any kind of reality is you. So you're fearing your own judgment. You're fearing the words from others that you, in some part of you, believe to be true. Does that make sense? So if you are to judge me and say, Skye, you're really not doing this really well. I didn't learn anything from you today. I'm never going to do it again because I don't think you've got it. Okay, now, why would I fear that? I would only fear that if there's a part of me that believes that to be true. Because I'm hearing the words resonating with me. Therefore, I'm fearing what resonates. The negative resonance. Okay? So if you're fearing something, judgment, if you're fearing being judged, you're fearing judging yourself. It's only yourself that's judging you. No one else is. Okay? No one else is. Because if the words of somebody else does not resonate, then they are coming from their perspective. In which case, it's not true at all. They see you as they see you. Not how you are, but how they see you. There's another saying somewhere, and I can't remember if it's Chinese or something else. You exist as a different person to everybody that you meet. You are not the same person to every single person. Why? Because every single person sees you differently. So you exist as different people in every single different person's reality. Again, if that makes sense. Okay, so why would you fear someone judging you that they don't even know you? They don't have your experiences. They don't have your knowledge. They don't have your wisdom. They're not walking in your shoes. They're not living your life. So why allow them to hold that amount of power over you? That doesn't even make sense. This is where controlling the mind comes into it. Okay? And understanding that you are going to be judged by everybody. Everybody. No matter what, everyone, you will be judged. But does their judgment mean anything to you? Nope. Nope. So why allow them to hold that power over you and your life? And if something does hurt that someone says, you're only hating that person or disliking that person for judging you because you, somewhere in your mind, believe what they are saying to be true. And that's what you need to work on. The moment you resonate with it is the moment you believe it. You need to look at it, pull it to pieces, understand it, deal with it, heal it, and move on. Okay? Only one judging you is you. Period. Okay? Failure? Hard to fail if you try. Alright? Hard to fail if you try. Really hard. So, get rid of those fears. They are not necessary. Absolutely not necessary. Now, fear of being abused, attacked, or assaulted, that's a whole different level of fear. That again comes down to controlling your mind in the moment. Fear of being shot, fear of falling out of a plane without the parachute, fear of the semi-truck coming barreling down towards you. That's a whole different kind of fear, but we're talking about general fears. And you can control every single one of them. And 9 times out of 10, those fears are not true. They are irrational. They're emotional. They are emotional based. And when you control your emotions, just like your mind, you control your fears. You can be afraid of nothing. Same with fear of death. How much of the population fears death? A huge part of the population. Why? Because they don't understand it. They don't understand death, so they fear it. They don't know what's on the other side. What's going to happen when their heart stops? Where are they going to go, if anywhere? They don't understand it, so they fear it. You're going to come to that point at one time in your life where you're going to meet that particular event. So why go through your life fearing something that you're going to meet anyway? Probably not for many, many, many years. So why would you worry about something that is going to happen, but may not happen for another 60, 70 years? So get on with your life, live in the moment. Okay? Fear is crippling, and it is unnecessary. We create our own crippling fears. Understand it, deal with it, heal it, and move on. Okay? Make sense? Okay. Pardon me. Emotions. This is a good one. Emotions. Everyone gets emotional. That's part of the human experience. Everyone has trouble controlling their emotions. Again, part of the human experience. Why are humans emotional? Because we are a conscious I don't like using that word because we're not really conscious, intelligent beings. I use that term lightly. Intelligent lightly. No, in all seriousness, we are conscious, intelligent beings. So the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it, uses emotions, our emotions, to experience life, to learn, to grow, to expand. Okay? And we use it to define how we experience certain things. Love, sadness, depression, joy, all the other wonderful emotions and states that we can experience. Again, we need to be able to control that. Because like I said in the first part 1, when the notifications come out, if we don't control our emotions, we can break our NDA, we can lose our funds. Okay? This is where controlling your emotions, both positive emotions and negative emotions, comes into it. All right? You can't... people who appear to not have emotions, and this is the same... I'll go into that in a second, but people who appear to not be in touch with their emotions, they come from a very different mental space, or space mentally. And a lot of people are so afraid of allowing themselves to be emotional for whatever reason, as to being weak. Women at that time of the month being emotional because a typical woman that time of the month, that kind of thing. There's a lot of reason why people suppress their emotions. Some people suppress their emotions during traumatic times, during times of loss, because they feel that if they allow themselves to be emotional, they won't be able to stop it, or it'll just snowball from one thing to another, and they won't be able to control it or stop it. Again, this is where the mind controlling your mind, comes into play. Okay, really important. We all have emotions, every single one of us, even those who say they don't get emotional. Of course they do. They just have control over it. Okay, so you need to be able to, and again, I'll use the military style because that's what I resonate with. You need to be able to run into a building with bullets being fired at you, and you've just killed all the terrorists, so to speak, and then in the next room you go, there's a bunch of women and small babies and children. So you need to be able to switch on, to one part is really aggressive, to the next part which is so compassionate, caring, and completely just switch it off, just cut off that one part of you. Okay, and then to be able to go from one emotional state to the next, in the blink of an eye, literally. Okay, becoming emotional validates the reality of whatever hard to face. That's right. Okay, so again, if you're dealing with a breakup or a divorce or a loss, okay, those emotions, you can let them take over and control your life and ruin your life at that time. Or you can control them and make the process smoother and easier to manage. Okay, so it's all about how you choose to allow your emotions and how much you allow your emotions to control you. Okay, remember, your thoughts are always in control. Always. Your thoughts are always in control. So if you say, I can't control what I say, I call BS. You can. You're the one thinking it. Okay? I was just watching a show where one of the recruits on SAS Australia, every time one of the directing staff said something to him, he said something back. He's like, I just can't control it. BS. Try. Okay? Try and control it, because it starts up here. Always starts up in the mind. And this is the same with illness. When you're sick, and it all starts up here. Okay, you can tell yourself, I'm feeling so sick today, I've got a massive headache today, I just don't feel right, I've got an injury, whatever, and you can allow that to take over. Then you get emotional because it's hard Okay, why is it hard? Because your thoughts allowed it to be hard. Then the emotions take over, and then the negative thoughts kicks in. Oh, I'm so sick today, I can't do it. Why is this happening to me? It starts here. You start up here, you control the rest, and everything goes smooth. Yeah, I've got a headache today. Okay, I'll take an aspirin, I'll sit down for a few hours until it passes. No biggie. You've lost nothing. Instead, you allowed the emotions and all the thoughts to take over. The emotions and everything has gone downhill, and now you're laying in bed, curled up for a couple of days because your life sucks because you had a headache. Okay, so that's where emotions can take control really, really quick. Really quick. And I witnessed this in when I was nursing in the palliative and cancer wards. I witnessed this all the time. And not only the patients, but the family members as well. Okay, one thought sets in, and everything snowballs from there. Okay, so yeah, all up here. Everything, every part of your life is in your head. Every part of it, including judgment and fears and emotions, everything. Okay. Speaking of soldiers, what about suppressed emotions that get triggered, such as with PTSD? Yep. Exactly the same. They need to control it, okay? They need to understand what has happened. They need to face it, okay? Once they understand it, then they need to face it. They need to look at the trigger. When you get triggered by something, same with PTSD, when you get triggered, you need to look at what the belief about the trigger is. So, for example, a soldier, I'm going to use a really common one, when they hear a firecracker, okay, they go for shelter, gunfire. Okay, now we look at the gunfire, not the firecracker. We look at the gunfire. What about the gunfire makes them so fearful and stressed? Okay, obviously, as bullets flying through the air, I'm going to be shot. Okay, why do you fear being shot? Because I might die. Why do you fear death? Because I don't know about death. So that's what we look at. We look at what you don't know about death. So you go through the process. So what the trigger is just a simple firecracker. But the real issue is the fear of death. Okay? That's where we look. That's where the healing comes from. So we don't just go, okay, well, we'll give you more firecrackers until you get used to it. Okay? Once they understand death, the firecrackers will no longer be a trigger, because they've got to the root of the problem. Okay, does that make sense? You need to get to the root of the problem to be able to heal it, not just the issue itself. Okay, so with soldiers, you think it's the bullets flying through the air. It never is. Never is. There's always something more. There's always another couple of levels behind the bullets flying through the air and the fear of that. So that's what you need to get to. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this also leads in. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Jackie. This leads into the next one. Anxiety of the unknown, stepping off that ledge. Okay, now this is a huge one. Oh, here comes the wind. This is a huge one. Stepping into the unknown, taking that next step. So what happens? Why would you do something that you have no idea where it will lead you or the outcome? Got no idea. Why would you even go there? Simple. Because humans like challenges. We like adrenaline. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Oh God. Gotta laugh at myself. Why not? Okay? Why not step into the unknown? Especially if you are not happy with your life now. How much worse could it get? Really, how much worse could it get? And I actually had this conversation, not yesterday, the day before. Oh, pardon me, with one of my guides. And he said, after they've asked me to do something in the future which I'm not happy about because of what it may bring, and I don't want to bring any more to my family. And he said, you've already got it. You've already got what you're potentially talking about, what may potentially happen by taking this on. So, why not just go and do it? And you're learning more in the process. You'll have more ability to do it in the process. You'll be happier because of what you'll be doing outside of this. So it's not going to be such an issue. So why not? And I'm like, yeah, but what if? And they're like, well, there you go again. What if? What if it's the most amazing possible thing that you could ever imagine and more? What if none of those things happen? But what if it goes the other way and is the most incredible thing that leads you into so much more? So you're going to hold yourself back because of what if, instead of forgetting all of that and going, yeah, but what if this happens instead of this? So this is where the anxiety. You're always going to have anxiety when you're doing something that you don't know. Starting a new job. I would never, ever, ever know how to be a cashier. Those tills and everything, they scare the living daylights out of me. You need to know the cash. You need to know the different payment systems. You need to know about the store. You need to know about this, that, sending out, the receipts and all of. That's way too much work for me. If I was given that job, I would be terrified. Instead of going, okay, I'm going to learn a whole lot of new stuff today. A whole lot of new stuff. Some I won't like, but some, after time, I may really be good at. I may enjoy. So I'll go to that new job today with an open mind, expecting nothing except to learn. And I will try my best. Yes, I maybe need to be told a million times about the one most simple thing, but I'll be learning. That's okay. I know I'm scared. I know I'm anxious. But after today, when I finish and I've done it, look what I've accomplished. Look what I have accomplished. Who knows? I might go to that store. I'm there for a couple of hours. Someone comes into the store to purchase something and says, I've got a modelling job. I'm just using that. That just popped into my head. So not true, but, we'll run with it. I own a modelling agency. I would like to hire you. Or, I'm doing a movie and you're exactly what I'm looking for. I've got a really big business that I own and I'm looking for staff. And what's your interest? Horses. Oh, wow, I run a stud farm. Do you want to be the manager? I'm looking for a manager. Okay, so even though you may be scared or anxious about the unknown will always lead you into something else so much more amazing than what you could imagine. Okay? So harness those fears, harness that anxiety, and look to the potential positive future outcome rather than what could go wrong. Okay? I'm still on the fence about making my decision. I think I'll make my decision when it's actually time. Will you please be quiet? Oh my God, he did. Oh, no. There we go. I thought it was too good to be true. So it's really about thinking about what can go right, even if you don't know about it. Okay, what can go right instead of what can go wrong. Because if we hold ourselves back from what can go potentially could go wrong, then we're never going to know what could go right. And that's where a lot of people get to the end of their life and look back and say, I wish I had done that. I wish I had taken that chance. Damn, if I could do it all over again, I would have done it so different. I would have made that decision. My fear was holding me back. Okay? So, again, control your... Thank you. Control your thoughts, control your fears. Okay? What? It's getting closer. It's got a huge beak. Don't you go under the table. Where are you? Don't even know where he went. You watch, he'll pop up and he'll... Really big beak. So, oh, there he is. Okay, so what we'll do. There he is. Thank you very much. Oh dear. Okay, let's push on. All right, social media. Okay, use social media to your advantage. Okay, are you finished? No, he's not. Yes, work back to change perception of the belief. Exactly right. So use social media to your advantage. Okay, people hate social media. My brother, for one, hates it. Yes, literally laughing out loud. Yep, welcome to my world. Got to have his voice or her voice made aware of. Use social media to your advantage. Okay, so there's a lot of scams, a lot of BS on social media. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But what can you use it for? Spread awareness, ask for guidance, ask for assistance, learn, talk about the topics that you enjoy talking about with like-minded people. You can sell your products. You can connect with people across other sides of the world. There's so many things you can do with social media, so use it to your advantage. One other thing you can do, and I do this all the time, 18 hours a day actually, is when somebody says something that triggers you or you disagree with, use that as your training platform. Okay, so are you going to, if it's something you disagree with, I'll just use an example here, and forgive me if you guys believe in this. I do not, based on my own perceptions from my own experience, but it's just an example, okay? Flat Earth. The Flat Earth theory does my head in. Absolutely does my head in. I totally accept that people believe it to be true. It's your vibrational frequency that determines the reality of the planet. Simple. But the Flat Earth theory and the argument against it absolutely does my head in. So I use those posts, and I do get a lot of them that come up on my feed. Use those posts to control your reaction. Do you react? Do you scroll past? Do you say something intelligent? Do you get into a conversation with with keeping an open mind? Do you want to learn more? Okay. The biggest trigger for me on social media is Flat Earth. The biggest trigger. There's no other trigger bigger than that. Even the people who abuse the crap out of me. That's Flat Earth for me. And it's like, I always have the urge to unfriend people because they don't live in the reality that I do. If they argue and they tell me off, then I unfriend them for being just simply disrespectful, but not because of their beliefs. So I use that, the Flat Earth, as my trigger to control my thoughts, to control wanting to put them right according to my reality. I use them to remind myself to keep an open mind because my reality may not be true. It's true for me and the life I want to experience, but is it true for them? No, it's not their experience. Okay, so it reminds me to be understanding, accepting, tolerant, non-reactive, open-minded, respectful. Okay, so use social media to your advantage. Purposefully go on social media to be triggered at some point. And then you can switch it to go on to other groups where compassion is needed. Go on to other groups where insight and tolerance is needed. For example, those very, very pushy people that are use their vegan to bash people who's not vegan. Okay, again, just another example. The common ones. Same, I can use the religious example as well. There's so many different examples you can use. Okay, so use social media to trigger yourself to be able to give yourself opportunity to control your thoughts, to remain respectful when someone's disrespecting you. Use it as a training ground. Okay, it is so helpful, really, really helpful. I do it all day, every day. Trigger, trigger, trigger. There's just triggers coming from every left, right, and center. Sometimes we lose our crap and let it fly. But that's an outlet and a reminder to us that, okay, we just hit the icing on the cake and we let it get to us instead of controlling it further down before we let it get to that point. Okay, so again, it's training. It's all about opportunity, creating the opportunities for yourself and working through them. Not only with yourself, but with your guides, taking their guidance, and with the other people that is triggering you. You'll probably block many people, like I have, that trigger me, and my ego takes over and says, "Oh, I'm not taking this crap," block. And then 5 minutes later I go, "Oh God, I just failed myself." You know, so, and then you quickly unblock before the person's realized you blocked them. Then you're preparing for them to have a go at you because you blocked them, and that triggers you more. Again, more opportunity for self-control. Okay, use social media, use it. Okay, don't just sit there scrolling, flicking through. Oh my God, there's so many boring posts, Facebook does nothing for me. Get in the groups and really push yourself to be triggered. Best way to learn. Okay, keyboard warriors are everywhere. You don't have to look far to find a keyboard warrior for you to learn with. Okay, flat earth is a deep state creation to create distraction and just another tool to divide and mix with other info to discredit truth they don't want others to believe. I completely agree. But what we have to remember is that the people who believe the earth is flat, that is their reality and it is true for them. It's not true. It may not be true globally. Can't believe I just said that. May not be true for humanity or for this planet, but it is true in their reality that they have chosen to believe at that time. So we must respect that. We can give them the information if they ask for it, but at the same time, this is their journey and we're not here to change their mind. They have to find out themselves and we have to respect that. Okay, that's really important. As much as we want to belittle them and mock them and say, how do you figure that? And this is ridiculous and it makes no sense. To them, it makes perfect sense. To them, it is absolutely everything makes perfect sense. Because they're living in a different reality to us. So the globe earth makes no sense to them. Okay, so it's the same with the convert believers. You know, big scary virus, government tells the truth, looking after us. You tell them, you know, it's the opposite and they think you're nuts. Okay, it's just the different realities and we must respect that. But use them to trigger you because you will be triggered. I am all the time. Okay. All right. 2 more and then we are done. We got 15 minutes left. Perfect. Perfect timing. Goal setting. Okay. Oh, this is the last one. Okay. Perfect. Goal setting. All right. Why do we need goals? Okay. Some people believe we don't. Okay. I'm going to use this term very loosely. Some spiritualists who have been doing a lot of study believe that you don't need a goal because spirit will guide you. Yes, spirit will guide you. That is absolutely true. You do have a soul contract and a soul plan, and spirit will guide you through that. However, at the same time, you are here in a human incarnation to be an active member of your life, of this life. So if you just sit back and go, Spirit's got this, I'll be shown, you know, when it's time, I'll be shown. Spirit will guide me. Okay, Spirit will guide you, but is that the way you want to live your life? Do you not have anything you actually want to achieve in this life? Or are you just going to sit back and just play video games or whatever, until something pops up. Because 9 times out of 10, that something will not pop up because you are not taking an active role in your life. It's when you get up and make an effort to something that spirit gathers round and guides you through whatever it is that you're trying to do, that whatever it is you're wanting to do. While you're sitting around going, I don't know, again, this goes back to mindset. While you're just sitting back going, Spirit will guide me. I don't know what I want to do because Spirit's got my back and they'll tell me what to do. They're not going to come in and tell you what to do. There's not going to be the guidance. You'll just be eating fast food, watching TV, waiting for Spirit to show you what to do. Okay? You need to have goals ready to go for something to achieve. Now, those goals must be flexible. Okay? They don't need to be flexible. You need to have flexibility. You need to be able to change. Pardon me. Within those goals. So if you're wanting to go and be a doctor, okay, you're coming out of high school, you're wanting to be a doctor, but you didn't quite get the marks that you need to get into med school. Okay, no biggie. I'll go in to nursing. And then I'll go up through the ranks of nursing, and then I'll have the experience as an adult student to be able to get into med school as an adult student with the experience I've got. Okay, so you still get to where you want to go, you're just going a different way about it. Okay, so it's not always the straight line. Go straight from high school, straight into university, straight into a doctor in like 10 years. You might go from high school, nursing for 5 years, 6 years, whatever, get the experience you need, then into med school for 7 years or something because you've already got so much experience. So in 12, 13 years, you're now a doctor. Taken you a roundabout way, but you still got to your goal. Okay? If you didn't have that goal, you would not have all the life experience and skills that you have picked up because you're still sitting around waiting for Spirit to make a move. Okay? So important for you to have a goal, even if it's a small one. I know somebody who wants to open a crystal shop and sell giftwares, is just waiting on the opportunity, and that opportunity is coming. But if she doesn't make the actual movement to start thinking and looking at different things that she wants to buy, that she wants to sell, and different things that she wants to make, etc. now, then Spirit's going to say, well, you're not ready. Okay, we'll only guide you to getting to your goal when you actually start making the move to get there. But while you're sitting around waiting for us to show you the way, we can't show you the way because you haven't made that move yet. Okay, really important to have goals. Really important. Doesn't matter how small or how large. Even if it's, my goal is to get to the beach on Saturday. That's my goal. Next Saturday, my goal is to get to the beach. Spirit will try and make that happen for you. But if you're saying, yeah, I'll get to the beach one day, guess what? You're not going to get to the beach. Not that year. Probably not the next year either. Okay? The moment you set a goal and you take active steps to get there, even if it's mental steps, looking online to see the best way to get to the beach or looking for the right beach, that's the moment Spirit starts working to help you get there. Okay? So goals are important, no matter how big or how small. They're important. All right? That comes down to also having mental resilience. Okay? If you want to open a gift shop, for example, your goal is to have the gift shop. But you're taking active steps to get there, but the opportunity hasn't arisen yet. That's okay. I'll work in a gift shop. So I get the experience of how a gift shop should be run and what's needed and everything. Then you've got the experience behind you. Guess what? Now the opportunity's there and you get your own gift shop. Okay? So sometimes it's not always about going from point A to point B. Sometimes it's going A, D, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and then to B. Okay, but you still have to take those active steps and be an active player or participant in your life. Okay, it's not all about just waiting for spirit to say something or do something or show you the way. Sometimes it's getting up and saying, you know what, I'm going to create my life for me because I'm ready, because I want to, because if I don't, no one else will. Hang on, spider. Oh, I tell you what, I cannot wait for somewhere to live and I can do this inside in the comfort without animals coming at me left, right and center every single time. Okay, so yes, goals are important, but I think the most important thing to take away from today is control your mind. 100% mental control and mental resilience is absolutely vital for anything going forward in life, whether it be positive or not so positive. Okay, if you can control your thoughts, you control the rest of your life and the destiny that you take. Okay, bugs, please go away. So so do you guys have any questions or anything like that? Any comments or anything that you want to add? And can someone turn Summer back on, please? That would be really nice. Okay, where is... Oops. Let me see. Where is the best place to learn how to create a YouTube channel and multiple Telegram pages to give training classes like you do? Okay, a YouTube channel is really, really simple. If I can do it, anybody can. Anyone can. I think you create a YouTube account and Google it. That's what I did. I just followed Google, the steps on Google. It's quite simple. If I can do it, anyone can. So yeah, Telegram pages, just sign into Telegram and you go to your settings and it'll say create channel or something like that, and just follow the steps. Really, really easy, really easy. Yeah, look on YouTube how to create a YouTube channel. Pardon me. It's really simple. Google is my best friend. Okay, I even had to Google this morning how to change the settings on my public posts, how public people can comment on my posts. And I'm like, I know it's here somewhere, but I can't find it. So I went to Google and Google told me how to do it. So it's something I've been doing for a very long time. So yeah, look, if you want to do videos, pardon me, this is why I do them on Facebook, because you can actually communicate with people, okay, on Facebook. I don't have the money to, you know, do like Zoom accounts, and if you're going to do videos and hold classes and things like that on Zoom, then it costs you quite a bit of money, which I don't have. Other platforms also cost money. I believe I've only just been told now that you can do live videos on Rumble, but I need them private, so this is why I do them in a private Facebook group and then upload them to YouTube, because I like interaction. I like to talk to people, not just do a whole long thing and have no interaction. Telegram, I'm just learning how to do a video chat on Telegram, so I won't be able to tell you how to do that because I'm still just learning myself. But again, Google. Just ask on Google and they'll take you through step by step. Okay, so so yeah, but you will need a YouTube, and you'll need somewhere to do your classes. Okay, and if you're going to have people paying, then those classes need to be private, which is why I use Facebook. Okay, the other ones, cost money, or they're not private. Okay, if you want to do free classes, jump on YouTube, okay, and anyone can tune in and comment on that. So, but if you want paid, then they need to be private. Alrighty. So I think we've covered everything. We've certainly covered everything that Spirit gave me this morning. So yeah, look, just use Facebook to trigger yourself to learn to control. Okay, and remember, life is 90% mental, 10% physical. And once you can understand the mental part of it, then the physical part of life becomes so easy, really simple, really basic. And then it's a pleasure instead of pain. Okay, even physical pain when you're exercising and things, once you understand the mental side of it, then you can understand the physical, and the physical doesn't even come into it. It's all mental. Alrighty. Okay, I want to thank everyone for today, and just remember, I will be downloading this from Facebook and uploading it onto YouTube, and then I will send everyone an email with the links. Now, it will be private. Please don't share it to anybody, okay, because again, this is paid, and it's not fair on the people who've paid if other people who haven't paid get it. So please don't share it to anyone. There was a couple of courses back where we had a couple of people sharing it to all their friends, and then somebody else ended up in one of the groups somehow, and it was just a whole big mess. So please don't share it. If they want it, then I will be opening up later, probably next week, where they can purchase the recording of it. Okay, but yeah, please don't share it or gift it to someone. Alrighty, well, I wish everybody a great day, and Merry Christmas to everyone if you celebrate it. If not, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, whatever it is, okay? Whatever it is, the term that you use, I'm going to say Merry Christmas because that's what I'm used to. Alright, and have a wonderful time, and I hope that you've been able to take some of this information, if not all of it, and use it for your benefit. Because it really is important, and it is key to changing your life, transforming your life from what it is to actually what you want it to be and where you want to be. And it all begins in the mind. Okay, so Merry Christmas everyone, and have a wonderful New Year, and stay blessed. And Alliance, can we get some more blessings, please? Please. If you get my drift, please. Alright, thanks everyone, and catch you later. Bye.